Hey guys, welcome to the RCS EV. Thanks for tuning in to another video. As you can tell again, I'm not in my Tesla today. Really good car. This is Ford's Mustang Mach-E. As you can see for some of you avid watchers, I have this little black thing on my shirt. It's actually a microphone. I've had a few people say that the sound quality wasn't the best on my videos, so I've invested a bit of my hard-earned cash and got a nice microphone just to make these videos a bit better. Next thing on the list, probably a new camera because I'm using my phone. I know, terrible of me, but that's just how it is at the moment. So here we are on the outside. Really nice car. Love the design of it. Love how they've incorporated this this black roof line here. Basically, it kind of makes the car look more like a sportier coupe than what it actually is. Makes it look like that roof line slopes away so much more. So here we are at the boot. Electric opening, of course. Really nice and big. Same as a lot of other cars I'm finding. There's no bin storage here like the Tesla have. They have massive storage bins there, but these kind of don't. Oops. The floor there's not a great deal of room, but I think if you take this air kit out, you probably get a suitcase under there. You can also have this shelf. As you can see, there's little lugs there, and just there as well, you can actually lift this shelf up to make a bit more space. So yeah, pretty impressed with the boot space. It's got a fairly decent cargo load cover, not like that flimsy thing the Tesla has in it, which is a bit ridiculous. I love the buttons to get in here. You just push the button, door pops open, and you pull it. I've always wondered with the Tesla, if you came to the door like this way round and you've got to kind of wedge your finger in to kind of get it open. Rear space, that's my driving position, so I'm 5'10". That's a pretty good amount of space. It's completely flat floor down here, which is brilliant. You've got a normal USB and a USB-C socket there. Beautiful big glass sunroof, really good. The height for your head is brilliant. So just as I was saying, I'm about 5'10"-ish, and I've got bags of room here. They've got like a little indent in the roof line, so you get more around your head. So actually, there's a good, I mean, I'm a man, so I can't measure inches very well, but I'd say a good 3 to 4 inches extra on top of my head there. So a long drive, I think 2 6-feet people would fit in here pretty well. But I think having 3, it's like most cars, 2 for a long journey, 3 if you really need it, to be honest. Nice armrest, same as ever. No one wants to cover these anymore, apparently. It's too expensive these days to have cup holder covers, but yeah, really impressed with this. And something else, look, nice, easy to use manual door handle, so you haven't got that faffing silly one down here on the Tesla if your battery goes flat. Around the back, nice big window, nearly goes all the way down, but I'm not too bothered by that, to be really honest. So yeah, and round at the front, I tell you what, I think that's bigger than the Teslas. Sorry about the noise, it's just got the aircon running to keep it cold in there. But you've got loads of space in here, absolutely loads. And you've even got a nice graphic there for a child escaping. So if you ever put your child in there by accident, they can get out. But yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, styling-wise, I think it looks like a really good car. Really nice styling, lovely lines, lovely headlights. Charging port for this is down here. Just poke it, out it comes, the usual kind of flap there, so you can have your DC fast charging. Really nice. Really well put together. Styling wise, I've got to give it to Ford. They've done a fantastic job on this. I think the white looks really nice as well in it, to be honest. If I was going for it, it'd be white or possibly grey. Yeah, really good job. So back to the inside. The interior, this is a top of the range one. It's got nice steering wheel, really nice stitching. It's got the Bang & Olufsen sound system as well, which is actually really good. That's quite good as well, that I like. Look, you've got a nice 360 look down view, so you can see exactly what it's doing. And it's actually got it beeps on the inside, and it's got almost like a radar pulsing noise on the outside as well. It's quite clever. But let's get rolling, shall we? And I've got to say, the first thing I've noticed is that the throttle is a little bit twitchy. So you just, you know, touch it by a hair's whisper and it's already pulling to go. I'm guessing I'll probably change the settings in here a little bit to make that a bit nicer, but it's just a little bit twitchier than I would have kind of liked. Like there, I just kind of touched it and it actually sort of jerked a little bit. But one thing I'm glad to see they kept is Ford's famous heated front windscreen. So for those of you in cold countries, you know, the Nordics, England in the winter, although I think people would say our winters are very mild, but certainly maybe Canada and the northern states of America, these heated windscreens are brilliant. I mean, obviously on other electric cars you can precondition them, so it kind of helps there as well, but I'm really glad to see they kept that, because that's a really good, unique selling point of Ford's. But it's ride quality so far. It's definitely really good. Quite like it, actually. Small bumps, I've not actually even felt any yet, and as we know, Britain's road are probably renowned for being absolutely shockingly bad. It's done a good job. Although now that I'm getting up to speed, considering this has got quite fat tyres, there's a little bit of road noise, and I'm just checking my windows there because around here I can definitely hear there's actually quite a fair bit of wind noise, which I didn't expect that, but there's quite a bit of wind noise. Surprising, because these pillars are massive. They actually block out quite a bit of the view from the front. The view at the back's really good though, because of that black roof line that I was to talk to you about. It makes the car look like a coupe, even though it's much squarer. So the back window is actually quite steep, whereas in other cars it's quite shallow, and the view at the back is, you know, is absolutely rubbish. But on here, yeah, it's quite good. Mirrors are good. The seat, I haven't played around with it enough yet, but it's the same as quite a lot of others. I find that the side bolsters, these bits here, never really give you enough. So it kind of feels like I'm going to slide out if I was to take a corner relatively sharply. So it's a bit of a shame. But otherwise, apart from that, the seat's good. It's the same as the Tesla. It's not got a thigh support, which on a car of this value and this price range, it really should. I mean, come on, how hard is it to put that in there? I actually test drove a Jaguar I-Pace, and that was really clever. The seat kind of rolled forward. It wasn't like a clippy forward like piece of chair that moved. The actual seat base rolled itself open to make a thigh support. I mean, that's clever. A bit of a gimmick, but still clever. So what I was going to tell you, little screen here just gives you your speed, your range. I'm sure it's customizable, but speed and range is probably what most of us will have it on the majority of the time, to be honest. And it's got your driver assistance. It tells you what driving mode, and some in one pedal, obviously, because that's the best way to drive these cars is with one pedal, because then you get the regen, which is what you want. But a bit of acceleration, so just doing 30, and there was a bit of lag actually. Loads of, it's got adaptive cruise, it's got lane keep, so it'll drive you down the motorway nice and easily. I pressed that, didn't work. Oh no, set. Still doesn't work.
A few moments later.
Found the button. You have to kind of turn it on with a different, sorry folks, but yeah, this is doing a drive of its own now, so it's kind of just doing whatever it wants. It's got lane centering, it knows my hands on the steering wheel to keep it going. It's doing well. That's one thing I forgot to tell you. So one thing about this car is it does lane keeping. It's got this little kind of display, it's not display, but like a piece of glass, like black gloss glass, and what that is doing is it's looking at my eyes. So when I look away at the screen and start faffing over here, eventually it starts, there you go, and it's just said watch the road, because it knows my head isn't looking. Clever and annoying. Well, just watch the road and it won't matter, will it? How do I disconnect this? That one, there we go. Oh, I'm getting good at this. But what it's got is it's got 3 driving modes. So you've got a whisper mode, which basically is the Eco Pro version of everything. It means it's basically saving as much battery as you can. I've got it right now in active, and active is sort of your middle ground. You're 9 times out of 10, that is the mode that you're going to be on when you're driving this car. And then finally, you've got a road. I think car companies have sort of pitted themselves against each other. So Tesla have the ludicrous mode, because, well, why not? And in Ford's language, they've called it untamed. So you can have an untamed driving experience. I've got to admit, Tesla weird, ludicrous sounds much better than untamed. I mean, come on, guys. It's way better to call it ludicrous than untamed. But I'm just going to put it in untamed, where it says exhilarating drive, machine and road align as one, more responsive acceleration and steering. So before I said the acceleration had some lag. So let's see now if there is. So 3, 2, 1, on. Tiny bit of lag again, not as much, but you can feel the car kind of lift at the front. It's lifting its nose up to get going, and it's thundering down the road. The one thing I like is the suspension in this. I mean, I'm old enough now that I don't want hard suspension, and I want a nice, comfortable drive. I don't want to have stiff suspension because I'm going to be ragging it around a country road. Good, I might put it in whisper now. And actually, what whisper seems to have done is it's taken away that edginess when you first drive off, because that's what I kind of felt was a slight edginess about it. But yeah, this versus a Tesla, I think it's really good, to be honest. It's more of your traditional kind of car, so the materials are nice, that's nice and squidgy. Really, Ford? You got a scratchy bit there, then a nice cloth bit here. Not good. Same here, you got some kind of material. I think there's speakers under there, and then behind it again, it's all this cheap plastic. I mean, these cars go anywhere sort of from £60,000 upwards, and you've got all these really plastics. And why do they do it? How much does it actually save? I mean, I guess it must save enough for them to do it, but even there, that little piece where all your controls are, it's horrible to touch. The rest of it's nice. I really like this stitching. I think it's an option, but it's a nice red contrasting stitching. That's nice. I mean, the screen's good. I like the screen and the fact that it's the same as the Tesla, and it's a bit fiddly because everything's a touch screen, and it's very hard to build like a muscle memory to go to a button that is constantly not there or moving, or you can't actually touch it. So it's good the fact they've got quite nice big icons. I've found a lot of Tesla ones, they're quite small and it's quite hard to press, but these, you know, they're nice big icons, easy to press the button. Yeah, it's not bad, to be honest. The ride quality is good. The exterior design I really like. I've seen this on the motorway and around in the town and about. I think they look fantastic. This especially, I like the white and the blue. They're great colours to have. The performance, really good. These are quite well known for having huge battery packs. I'm going to put it here. I think it's about 90 odd kilowatts, maybe even over 100. It's huge. So the interior styling I like. What I don't like is these scratchy plastics. I really think the scratchy plastics kind of ruin the quality. You know, it's good that it's got traditional USB-A and a USB-C socket. It's got a wireless charging pad down here. It's got a normal glove box as well, where you have a handle to open it. It's not like a Tesla where you've got to faff around and press a button. But yeah, the switch gear feels nice. This is where I mean it's more of a traditional car. Yeah, bundles of storage. There's a little bit like a big pocket down here where you can put stuff. You got 2 big cup holders. The door bins, I'm afraid to say, they're not very big because you've got a big speaker here. So the actual space, I think you'd probably struggle to get a big size bottle in there. You'd be alright getting your can of Coke or something, but anything bigger, I think you'd really start to struggle. And if you're a Ford driver, a lot of the stuff in here is very familiar. I mean, even the key's the same. So everything is the same in this thing. So if you go from a more traditional Ford, a Mondeo, a Focus, Fiesta, you're going to notice all the buttons, all the switch gear is all the same. So the transition will be very easy. So this is the second electric car that I've test driven that isn't a Tesla. And my conclusion is that they feel more traditional. There seems to be a thing that to be an electric car, it's got to be a wacky design or have a really funky, odd, unique selling point to it. I mean, I'm going to do it at one point, but I think, is it the Kia EV6? The one that, it looks a little bit like a wedge of Edam. It's like a big semicircle. From bonnet to tail, it's just a huge semicircle. I think the styling on it is, well, I'll just say, it's not for me. Definitely not for me. If I didn't buy a Model Y, would I get this? Would I scrap it, shortlist it, or just go ahead and buy it? I wished I had another a level, because it's kind of in between shortlist and just go ahead and buy it. It's pretty much smack bang in between the two of them. It's very good, but there's just something holding me back from going, yep, buy this car. But there's nothing holding me back from saying, definitely shortlist it. So just at about the end of this review now. I've got more coming. I've got reviewing next on the list is a Volkswagen ID4. And then after that, I've also got an ID5. And what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a little comparison between the two, because I've heard a lot of people kind of think, why would you get an ID5? It's basically an ID4, just less practical. They'll be uploaded next week. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. If you already did it at the start of this video, thank you. It really helps this site out. If you haven't done it, go ahead, click that button. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. How do I turn this off? Oh, whew. That one. There we go. Why isn't it working, people? I'm pressing it. Cannot get the cruise control to work. Am I being thick?